Hey everybody, this is your man Will H. the Cinephile, and welcome back to my channel. And uh, Ridley Scott's Legend is a film with so much visual potential that is squandered by poor execution, leaving me thoroughly unimpressed. The production design is undeniably stunning, creating a fantasy world that looks and feels immersive. The set pieces, costumes, prosthetics, and makeup are all crafted with painstaking detail, giving the film an air of authenticity. Yet all of this meticulous artistry is wasted on a narrative that is cringe-inducing, dull, and ultimately pathetic. For all its beauty, Legend is an empty spectacle, a hollow fantasy that fails to inspire or entertain me. The premise of this film is inherently promising. The concept of a hero venturing into a mystical world to battle the embodiment of darkness and save the force of light is a classic fantasy trope that, when done well, can be enthralling. But here, the execution is so lackluster that the story never comes alive. The pacing is sluggish, the dialogue is stilted, and the characters flat and unengaging. There's no emotional weight, no sense of wonder, and no genuine excitement. Instead, the film plods along, leaving me detached and bored as hell. Like, the one saving grace of this film is Tim Curry's performance as the Lord of Darkness. Curry is magnetic in the role, exuding menace and charisma in equal measure. His portrayal is a masterclass in how to command the screen, even when the material he's given is less than stellar. And encased in some of the most impressive prosthetics I've ever seen, Curry's physical transformation is as striking as his performance. He is the only element of the film that truly stands out, and his presence alone elevates the certain scenes from mediocrity to something resembling greatness. Without Curry, Legend would be utterly forgettable. Like, despite its aesthetic strengths, the film suffers from a lack of cohesion and purpose. Like, the world Scott has created feels real and fantastical, but it's a world without heart or soul. The visuals, while impressive, are nothing more than a pretty facade. They fail to compensate for the weak storytelling, leaving the film feeling hollow and uninspired. Like, this brings me to Ridley Scott himself, a filmmaker whose work I have long struggled with. There's no denying that Scott is a master of visual storytelling. He has an unparalleled ability to create worlds that feel tangible and alive, and his attention to detail is second to none. However, this talent often comes at the expense of narrative depth and emotional resonance. Scott's films, including Legend, are frequently style over substance, prioritizing aesthetics over meaningful storytelling. Like, what frustrates me most about Scott is his arrogance. Like, he consistently portrays himself as a director incapable of failure, refusing to acknowledge the flaws in his work. Watching interviews where he praises his own films as masterpieces, even when they clearly fall short, is infuriating. Like, it's one thing to be confident in your abilities, but Scott's anger um self-aggrandizing attitude comes across as hypocritical and out of touch. Like, his inability to engage in self-reflection or admit missteps only adds to my disdain towards him. Like, I admire his technical prowess, but I cannot overlook his shortcomings as a storyteller. Like, he knows how to craft a visually stunning film, but that's not enough to make a great film. Like, a movie needs more than beautiful visuals. It needs heart, depth, and compelling narrative to truly resonate with audiences. In Legend, Scott demonstrates his ability to create a mesmerizing fantasy world, but he fails to populate it with characters or story worth caring about. Ultimately, Legend is a deeply flawed film. It's a movie that promises magic but delivers mediocrity. For all its visual splendor, it is a tedious, predictable, and uninspired fantasy that left me feeling nothing but disappointment. Like Tim Curry's performance as the Lord of Darkness is the film's only saving grace, but even his brilliance cannot redeem the overall experience. Like, this man, Ridley Scott, may be a skilled filmmaker, but Legend is a stark reminder of his tendency to prioritize style over substance. Like, it's a film that looks incredible, but fails to connect on any deeper level, leaving me cold and unimpressed. For all its ambitions, Legend falls tragically short, earning its place as one of the most pathetic entries in the fantasy genre. So, there we have it, my fellow cinephiles. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and also follow my letterbox. And just in case I don't see you again, good evening, good afternoon, and good night.